Hey guys, today I wanted to make a video, but I don't have a ton of time and feel a little bit lazy, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to go through all the discs that I have, considering that I now have two disc golf videos and I kind of want to make more of stuff like that. Also, let me know if that's more of what you'd want to see. Yeah, I just kind of want to go through all of the discs that I have here and show you guys them, and hopefully that's somewhat interesting. Let's just get started, I guess. So, the first one I'll show off to you is super basic AVR, white with silver from Minnova. This was a part of my starter set. It contains 3 discs. This was the putter that came with it. It's seen better days, but really it's not in that bad of shape. I actually don't really use it. I should mention these first few I don't have in my bag regularly because I have other putters that I want to use more. And I'm right now just at this kind of bag, looking to get more discs and a backpack kind of style of bag next. So for right now, I just have to deal with only having 10 discs on me at one time. Pretty basic AVR. It's a decent disc. If you know anything about discs or disc golf, an AVR is kind of like a default. Yeah, not bad, not great or anything like that. I'm actually looking to get an AVR 3 for something that can be a throwing putter for me. You know what? Let's do my minis first. I have 3 minis. I'll just tell a little bit of a story about each of them. So the first one, the one that I mainly used, was the first mini I got. You can actually see here, it's a little bit bigger than most. Kind of weird like that, but I got it from an ace race. There's actually a few things I got from an ace race that my best friend's brother held at just the high school. It's a little Discraft mini there with a basket that's on fire, and I put the sticker we got from it as well on the back there. This has been my main kind of mini that I use. Not really any reason other than it was my first, and only recently did I get any others. It's seen better days as well. Next, I just recently did a tournament. We'll see the disc for that I got from it and talk about it a little bit more then. In the little player package that we got a little mini here. This is from Prodigy Discs. They were the one that sponsored the event. So I just picked up this little green one here. Haven't used it. I actually haven't even used this one either. And this one is kind of cool. It's from the PDGA. To be in part of that tournament, I joined the PDGA, and you get some extra stuff from it as well. But yeah, we've got a cool little tree icon there that is like also a disc golf basket or hole. Also, apparently Latitude 64 made this. We'll see how they came in contact with PDGA. Anyway, those are my minis. If you don't know, they're just a little marker on the ground. There's a rule in disc golf. Before you can pick up your disc that you threw, you have to put another one down if you're going to use that disc again. So people like to use a mini so they don't have to use a different one of their discs. I guess you can use it, but it's just easier to use. It fits right in your pocket. Getting back to the discs that are not in my bag for various reasons. We already talked about how the AVR, I just have putters I like better. We have another disc that came from my starter pack, this bright orange Shark. It's a little bit beat up. It's just that DX plastic. If you don't know, Innova's super basic plastic. These discs cost $10 on their own, and it's a really cheap plastic, but it's great to try out a disc, or if you're not sure if you'll like it, or if you just want something that you don't care too much about, or I mean, like, you can make it last for a while anyway, but you'll see how it gets beat up. You can see that little nick there at the side. I used it up until I got a rock, and then I stopped using it because the rock is just a lot better. This, I don't think I was advanced enough to really even know how this flies. Let's see here. 4-speed. It's neutral with a little bit of fade. So I guess it's probably not a bad disc. Probably goes pretty straight. But anyway, I don't use it. Anyway, moving on now. Now we're into some cool stuff here. I'm going to show this one first. We have the disc that I got at the Ace Race tournament I was talking about, where I got this mini. Like I said, my best friend's brother held the event. Was it for a senior project? It might have been. He held the Ace Race tournament, sponsored by Discraft, and yeah, I got a disc from it. Couple reasons I don't use this one, partially because I don't want to lose it, and partially because it would be very easy to lose, as it is dark green. I was one of the last to get discs, so I got the horrible color that you cannot find if you throw it. It's still pretty cool. It's a prototype, so I have no clue how this disc flies. It has a weight here on the back. It's pretty light, and it's a pretty decent plastic, but other than that, I have no clue about it. It's just pretty cool. It's up in my room because I have nothing else to go for it or put it with. But yeah, 2014 Ace Race. And then next, we have another disc that I got from a tournament. This was that tournament I was talking about with the Prodigy disc. They actually kind of match. Look at that. Anyway, so this was the Fahringer Ranch Open Fall Classic. If you're in Colorado, South Suburban, Denver, Fahringer is kind of in Ken Carroll sort of area, I guess you could say, Lakewood. It's a beautiful course, big, wide open, 18 holes, very difficult. But yeah, pretty cool kind of graphic we got going on here. I did horrible in the event. I'm pretty sure I was last or second to last, partially because I couldn't do the second round. I had to leave. Yeah, I didn't do very well, but it's okay. I still had a lot of fun. We got these from Prodigy. It's an MX-3 I don't know. It's a mid-range of some sort. I haven't thrown this one either. I was actually on the wait list for this tournament, so I could only get in after everyone that was actually signed up got in. Thankfully, they had a few spots left for me, so I got one of my spots and was able to get the disc. But yeah, as I said, I was pretty late to the game, so I got a horrible color that if I actually threw it, I would lose instantly. And I don't want to lose this because it's pretty cool. Look at that. All right, that's it for the discs that I don't use. Now we can get into what I actually use. This is the bag that I have. I've had it ever since the start. I think my best friend, Cameron, who actually, his brother ran the tournament, gave me this bag because he was getting an upgrade. But anyway, let's start with my good old putter. This is my main workhorse putter. Use it for pretty much everything. It is a dynamic disc Warden. I actually got it pre-owned at a disc shop called Fly Green. I'll probably talk more about if you, again, live in Colorado, South Suburban area. It's over in Centennial, like Arapahoe Road kind of area, I-25. I love this putter. It's a little bit slippery, but it's awesome. Great for throwing putter. However, I want one that has a little bit more speed. There is that, but otherwise, it's just a great all-around putter. I got pre-owned, but most of this damage is from me. It was in great shape. I don't know why someone got rid of it, but still in great shape. It's a really durable plastic here. And actually, a fun fact is its nickname is Clark because on the back here, it says Clark. I guess that's who owned it last. Moving on to my other putter. This one I found at Thunder Ridge when we were playing there one time. It is a soft APX from Discraft. It is really nice and squishy, so I use it a lot if I am scared about missing or if it would bounce out or anything like that, because this Warden is pretty stiff. It has some flex to it, but it can bounce out easier than this. And it's just really nice and soft and smooth, and it'll kind of stick right into the basket there. This was my workhorse before I got the Warden, and now I kind of just use it for tricky putts or if I want to just try a second one for fun. Yeah, I guess I don't use it a ton anymore, but it's still a pretty good disc, especially if you want that one that's really nice and floppy and it will stick in the basket. I think there's some other benefits I would have to look into about flexible putters. Anyway, I don't really like this disc. It is a Hydra from Innova. It's supposed to float in water. It's a 3-speed putter, so kind of an approach putter more. I found this one too. I don't know if I like it, just because I never seem to really get any value out of it, any good value, I should say. So I would have the AVR in here instead of this, but my brother convinced me that I should keep trying it because he tried it out once and said that it was pretty good. But I don't know, kind of weird, beat up. Well, actually, really not that bad. Kind of a weird plastic, very stiff and kind of heavy, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying it out, see if I end up liking it at some point. But I'm sure as soon as I get an AVR 3 or a Luna or what's the other one, a Dart, this is probably boop, out of the bag. All right, next up we have mid ranges. So this is a Wolf from Innova. I forget where I bought it from, but I originally was thinking that this would be a great hyzer bomb disc, but actually it does the exact opposite of that. It is super understable, -4, and so actually it would be great for big Annie shots. I haven't used it a whole lot because of that, because I didn't really understand it for a while until I started to learn what the numbers and stability meant. I started to use it more, especially for sidearms, as I'm trying to learn how to do that. It's kind of nice because it doesn't just immediately drop to the ground, it kind of fights back. But yeah, I'm sure as I start to understand the disc a little bit more, I'll probably use it more. Even though I haven't used it a ton, it is a little bit beat up. Not too bad though. It actually has a very interesting shape here. It must add to the instability of it, or understability. I don't know how well you can see it, but it has kind of a ridge right on the rim here. Kind of an interesting feeling disc. Great disc for some flexible Annie shots or just anything where you need something super understable. Next up is a Rock. I actually love this disc. I got it a little while back because I was looking for a better main mid-range to get rid of my Shark because I just didn't feel like I used it very often. This is really heavy, but I picked it because it was rainbowy and pink, and I just thought it was cool. It goes super straight, fades quite a bit at the end. It's an awesome putter or mid-range, especially if you're learning. And we'll see here in a minute that I actually liked it enough. I have a second one, sort of. I definitely recommend it to beginners because it's punishing if you don't use it correctly, but if you use it right, then it's going to go exactly where you want it to as you start to learn about the game and how to throw. But like I said, I loved the Rock so much, I got a Rock 3. I wanted to get a really nice one as well. So this one's Champion plastic-ish. But yeah, it has awesome graphic on it. Look at that. It's really heavy as well. I got it just recently, already love it. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly like the Rock. It is a little bit faster and it fades a little bit more. So it's a tiny bit harder to use, but it will probably be able to go further. And it's just going to be a great mid-range for me, I think. I just really wanted a mid-range that was going to last me forever and that I loved. And this kind of is it. Moving on to the fairway drivers. This is the only one from my starter pack that I still have in my bag. It is a Leopard, so 6-speed, kind of understable, a lot of glide, great for beginners. And this is super light, 150. That's 150 grams. You saw most of these are between 170 and 180. 180 is pretty heavy. Getting down to 170 and into 160 is pretty light. 150, this thing is like a feather. It's awesome. I actually was just trying out some max drives. My distance driver, I was able to get the furthest, but this was actually second. Just because it's so light, it just keeps going. And I got it to 280 feet, which for me, that's pretty good. Not that beat up, surprisingly, because I didn't use it as much as I think I should. But I definitely recommend it for beginners or even getting into intermediate. I was going to show a different disc before, but it perfectly follows the Leopard. I have a Leopard 3. This is Champion plastic. It's kind of what I've been using mostly for a lot of my shorter-ish drives. It's a little bit understable as well. a little bit faster than the Leopard. It has this really cool tie-dye print that's kind of see-through. It's a little bit hard to find sometimes, but usually you can find it, especially with the purple. If you like the Leopard, if you have a Leopard, I definitely recommend getting this. It is pretty similar, but also with any new disc, you're gonna have to learn the little nuances of it. Very easy to use, easy to make fly straight, all around just great disc. And then this is something I got from the PDGA when I signed up, along with that Mini. It is an Explorer, actually, from Latitude 64. I actually always wanted one of these because Latitude 64 helped make a disc golf phone game. It's the only phone game I have, but it's called Disc Golf Valley, and I actually really like it. And one of the discs in there is the Explorer, and I actually really liked it. It's a fairway driver. I don't know a ton about it, but just through some testing, it is super overstable, which is kind of interesting. Has a really cool graphic on it as well. Got it just recently, but I've already started to use it for especially some good hyzer bank shots. All right, the last one, my Boss. So starting out, I didn't really think about, or I just didn't know about how a faster speed disc is harder to use. So I was like, oh, well then I want to get the fastest disc out there. So this is one of the fastest out there. It's called the Boss from Innova, 13 speed. I've actually used it a lot. You can tell kind of just how beat up it is. But I really like the color, super easy to find and cool. It's definitely not something for beginners. I thankfully kind of learned how to throw it. Even then, I can't get nearly as much distance as someone else probably could. Like someone more professional could probably get this 400 feet easily. It's super fast, but really hard to use. It is a little bit understable. However, just the way that it's gotten beat up, I think that it's gotten really understable. Sometimes I'll throw it straight and it just will flip right like crazy. It's insane. And it'll do it late in flight too. It's actually saved me a few times, but I don't know, this thing is unpredictable, probably because it's so beat up. If you are getting into advanced and intermediate kind of play, then this I actually do recommend quite a bit. You can get a ton of distance out of it. All right, I guess that's it. Yeah, I only have, 10, 14 discs, but hopefully you like kind of the stories behind them, and if you are looking for discs, maybe some good recommendations to kind of recap on that. The Rock 3 if you're more intermediate, but the Rock if you're a beginner. Probably the best mid-range I've at least tried. The Buzz I also have heard is really good from Discraft. If you can get yourself a nice Warden, I like it. Otherwise, putters are really personal for some reason. Just kind of depends on your style and what you need. Otherwise, the Leopard or the Explorer is also pretty good. Just good, really controllable, predictable fairway drivers. And if you really want some good distance and you can get it, the Boss is also a good one. Just kind of recapping on what I recommend. But also you kind of have to figure out your own play style and what you like. If you have any questions, I'll probably be able to answer them in the comments. Yeah, have a good rest of your day.